Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, depending on where you're connecting from. How are you doing today? Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Also confirm you can see my screen. I hope you had a great day. I was trading today. Hope you made some profits. You can hear me loud and clear. Please drop a comment. Drop a comment. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear, and you can also see my screen. You're welcome. You're welcome to tonight's market review and outlook session. You're welcome. If you have any question, if you have any pair you want me to analyze, please drop it in the comment section. Drop it in the comment section. Let me know in the comment section if you have any question. Let me know in the comment section. Okay, let's start by looking at the calendar. I'm not going to wait for anyone. Okay, we'll just start the class immediately. So today was Monday. There was no major news today, but we still experienced a high volatility in the market. Okay, GBP, USD, Euro USD, New Zealand USD, all these pairs were bullish. All these pairs were bullish. GBP USD was bullish. Let's see. If you had joined GBP USD move earlier, the trend earlier, you would have made close to 90 pips on, close to 90 pips on, or even more than that on GBP USD. GBP USD did over 100 pips today. This is 3299 and 33 over 110 pips. Over 110 pips. So if you had caught the trend at its early phase, this would have been the good entry for GBP USD today. After the close of this candle, this would have been a good entry for GBP USD. I actually missed the move. I missed this move. If you joined the weekly outlook session we had, I told you guys DXY would be bearish. Told you guys DXY would be bearish, and I would expect GU to be bullish, EU to be bullish, AU to be bullish, NU to be bullish. I shared that with you guys during the weekly outlook session. Okay, but I missed this move because it didn't pull back. I was expecting to pull back to fill this fair value gap it created there. That was my expectation. Okay, I was expecting price to pull back to fill this fair value gap, but it didn't come into my area of interest, so I didn't execute the trade. I missed that move. Okay, so tomorrow is Tuesday, 20th of May, and Australian dollar will be releasing its cash rate, monetary policy statement, and rate statement will be released tomorrow by 5:30 a.m. So we should expect high volatility on Australian dollar pairs, and also CAD will be releasing its CPI data tomorrow. So we should expect high volatility on Australian dollar pairs and Canadian dollar pairs. Okay. So they've given us the previous and the forecast for the cash rates. If the actual is higher than the forecast, you buy Australian dollar. If the actual is less than the forecast, you sell Australian dollar. And for card CPI, the previous was 0.3%, and they're expecting it to drop from 0.3% to negative 0.1%. That difference is huge. From positive to negative, the difference is huge. And if the actual comes out lesser than this, that will be worst for card. That will be worst for card. If the actual is less than this forecast value, that will be very bad for CAD. That will be bad for CAD. Median CPI 2.9%, 2.9%. They want to keep the value the same. Okay, that's the expectation. And also for trimmed CPI 2.8%, 2.8%. So we'll wait for the actual value to be released by 1:30 p.m. tomorrow. That is when we'll decide on what to do with CAD. And for Australian dollar by 5:30 a.m., after this news has been released, we'll know which direction to follow on Australian dollar pace. If there's any pair you want me to analyze, if you have any question, please drop it in the comment section. Drop it in the comment section. Okay, so let's go to the chart. We'll start by looking at DXY. My weekly bias on DXY remains bearish. Our focus will be on the daily bias. Okay, our focus will be on the daily trend. So today, dollar index, let's see, I think it was bearish today. Yeah, dollar was bearish. I shared this with you guys during the weekly outlook session. I expect DXY to drop. Okay, and this was a prediction. I was expecting to drop to come clear the liquidity. This should be the first target. You can see that liquidity has been cleared. We have a fair value gap here that has not been filled. Okay, and for this week, I expect the dollar to clear these lows. Okay, that is my expectation on the dollar. That is the weekly bias. The weekly bias. Okay, now today I was expecting dollar index to pull back, but as you can see, right from the opening of the market, okay, right from the opening of the market, DXY just went bearish right from the opening. It didn't even, there was no buys at all. I was expecting it to pull back to clear this liquidity. That was my expectation. I was expecting DXY to pull back to clear this liquidity for me to sell dollar, but it didn't pull back. That is why I missed that move on USD pairs. Okay, so it didn't pull back. So I think it's likely going to play out tomorrow. It is likely going to play out tomorrow. So liquidity has been cleared. Liquidity residing at these previous lows has been cleared, and it has created a fair value gap. Yeah, you can see all this fair value gap is created on 4-hour time frame. You know how price moves. It goes take external liquidity, and after taking external liquidity, it goes back into the internal range liquidity, which is the fair value gap. Okay, so this fair value gap that has been created here, I would expect that DXY pulls back to fill this fair value gap. It could also clear the liquidity reside at this previous high and also come to fill this fair value gap. That is what I'm looking out for tomorrow. That's my expectation for tomorrow's market on DXY. That's my expectation. Okay, so I want to see DXY pull back, clear the liquidity, fill this fair value gap, and most likely it would come clear the liquidity residing at this previous high. That is what I see playing out on dollar index tomorrow. Between tomorrow and Thursday, okay? Between tomorrow and Thursday, that is what is likely going to play out on the dollar index. So at what point would I go bullish on the dollar index? At what point would I go bullish on dollar index? Few minutes, the network is not stable. Okay, so what is my expectation on DXY? I'll be looking for my setup in London session or New York session. Okay, so what do we have here on 1 hour time frame? Let's see for hour. Let's see for hour before we switch down to 1 hour time frame. I think on 4 hour, a bullish reversal pattern has formed on 4 hour time frame. And as you can see on 1 hour time frame, also we have a bullish reversal pattern. You can see we had a spinning bottom on the 1 hour time frame. Let's see what we have on 4 hour time frame. Please exercise patience. Like the network is not stable. It's too poor. Okay, so you can see what we had on 4 hour time frame. You can see this is what we had on 4 hour time frame. Liquidity residing at this previous low has been cleared. This pullback was used to fill this fair value gap. Like I told you guys, the first move to fill a fair value gap, most times they use it to create liquidity. That is what I have noticed in the market. The first move to fill a fair value gap most times is used to create a liquidity. So liquidity was created here. The low of this candle became an area of liquidity, and what they did today was to come clear the liquidity residing at that low, and that they have achieved. They swept liquidity residing at this low and also the liquidity residing at this low. And after that was achieved, you can see the pattern that formed here. Should we call this a doji or an ama? Okay, I will call this an ama because it has a body. A doji is not supposed to have a body. So I'll call this an ama because it has a body and the wick below it is like 3 or 4 times the body. So that is an ama. A doji is not supposed to have it's not supposed to have a body. Okay. So if you call it a doji, it's okay. If you say this is a doji, no, we don't have to argue over that. Okay. You can call it a doji. A doji indicates change in trend from bearish to bullish. AMA also indicates change in trend from bearish to bullish. Okay, so we had an AMA here, and the next candlestick closed bullish. This is a bullish reversal pattern. This is a bullish reversal pattern, but I want to see price. I think it's created a fair value gap after the formation of this AMA. I think it's created, a fair value gap was created, and price needs to fill that fair value gap it's created. Let's go down to 1 hour. So I think that's what is playing out in the markets at the moment. Price is trying to pull back to fill fair value gap it created. Let's see. Okay, there's no fair value gap here. Let's see 15 minutes. Let's see 15 minutes. Okay, so good. I love what I'm saying on 15 minutes. Okay, so you can see fair value gap was created here. Fair value gap was created here. Okay, so price is likely going to come fill that fair value gap. Okay, price is likely going to fill this fair value gap, and there is a low here. This low is an area of liquidity. So this is where I will be considering buying the dollar. Okay, this is where I'll be considering buying the dollar, and I will be looking for this to play out in London or New York session. If it plays out in Asian session, I wouldn't take the trade. Okay, if it plays out in Asian session, I wouldn't take the trade. My focus is on London and New York session. London and New York session. If you have any question, anything you want me to analyze, let me know. So that's my take on the dollar for tomorrow's market. I am bullish on dollar index. My bias for tomorrow's market on DXY is bullish. So I'm going to buy from this zone, hoping that price will retrace up here to clear the liquidity residing at its previous highs. Okay, so that's my take on DXY. Let's look at yen basket. Yen basket. Okay, as you can see here, you can see that dollar index is bullish at the moment. Let's start with the daily time frame. 30 minutes time, this candle will close. Now this candle looks like a shooting star. Yeah, on the daily time frame, you can see we had a fair value gap here on the daily time frame. That gap has not been filled. All right, that gap has not been filled. Price has tested that gap. Okay, but it has not been filled entirely. So let's go down to 4 hour. Let's go down to 4 hour. Okay, so this is 4 hour. This was used to sweep liquidity. You can see this move here was used to sweep the liquidity that was residing at this previous low. A lot of retail traders would have entered buy after the formation of this inverted hammer and this engulfing candle, and their stop losses will be residing at this low and few pips below the low. And this move, this drop, was to clear the liquidity. And you see what played out after the liquidity got cleared. Impulsive move. Can you see this impulsive move? Okay, so if your value gap has been created here, if your value gap has been created here, this is where I would be considering going bullish. Okay, I would work with this. I want to see price retrace into this zone. Okay, I want to see price retrace into this zone. If you apply a Fibonacci, okay, if you apply a Fibonacci from this swing high, I want to believe you all can still hear me, from this swing low to this swing high. From this swing low, what's happening? Network. Okay, so if we apply Fibonacci to from this swing low, network is poor. Sorry for the break, guys. Sorry for the break. It's due to poor network. Let me refresh the network. Okay, I think the network is back now. Let's see. Take it from the swing low to the swing high. Okay, swing low to swing high. I want to see price retrace back. Oh, this is 4 hour time frame. Okay, this is 4 hour time frame. Let's go down to, so after the close of today's candle, if we go down to 4 hour, this is the last candle for the day on 4 hour. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, this is the last candle for the day, and you can see the pattern we have on 4 hour time frame. Can you see this pattern? This is an hammer on a 4 hour time frame. Price pulled back. I think to test, we had a fair value gap here. Okay, we had a support here, and if you go down to 1 hour, a fair value gap was created, at this point. A fair value gap was created. Price has pulled back. Let's go down to 1 hour. So you can see what we had on 1 hour at this point. We had a fair value gap here. We had a fair value gap here. So price pulled back to fill that fair value gap. And after the fair value gap got filled, you can see the pattern we have here. We have several bullish reversal pattern. We had an inverted hammer. We had a spinning bottom. We had a doji. We had a spinning bottom. So we have several bullish reversal patterns here, indicating that the trend is about to change from bearish to bullish. So I see JPY yen basket buying tomorrow, and it's coming for this high. That is what I see playing out on yen basket. Then on 15 minutes time frame, 15 minutes, I want to see price pull back to this zone. This is where I will be considering buying the XY. Sorry, the yen basket. I want to see price pull back to this zone. Okay, I want to see price pull back to this zone. If we apply our Fibonacci, that should be a discount area. That should be a discount area, as you can see. From this swing low to the swing high, that's a discount. So price needs to pull back to a discount area. Okay, this is where I will be considering buying. And you can see at this discount area, we have a fair value gap here. You see this fair value gap? Okay, so that's my expectation on yen basket. Okay, so let's move to currency pairs. I'm not seeing your comments. I'm not seeing your comments. So let's look at GBP USD. I'll just analyze GBP USD and Euro USD, then call it a night. Let's look at GBP USD, Euro USD, and gold. Okay, so this is British pound. So if my expectation on DXY is bullish, I want to see GU selling. I'll be looking for sales on GU. If I expect dollar to be bullish tomorrow, I want to look for sales on GBP USD. And I can see the footprint of the bears. I can see the footprint. They're already in the market. The sellers are already in the market. They're already in the market. But it's important to know the right time to sell. Okay, so let's start with the daily. Today was bullish on GBP USD, strongly bullish. The bulls overpowered the bears today. The bulls were in control. What's wrong with this network? What's wrong with this network? I think price was used to clear the liquidity residing at this previous high. I think, yeah, the liquidity residing at this high has been cleared. It has been cleared. Let's see what we have on 4 hour. I hate it when the network is very slow. Just trying to be patient and just trying to be calm. Just trying to be calm. The network is too slow. Okay, so this is GBP USD 4-hour time frame. You can see the pattern we have on GBP USD. You see the pattern? Liquidity residing at this previous high has been cleared. You can see that this has been cleared. And what pattern do we have here? This is a shooting star. A shooting star, and the next candlestick close bearish. This tells me GBP USD is set for sell. GBP USD is set for sell. It is set for sell. Good. Good. So GBP USD is set for sell. Okay. I'll be looking to sell in London session or New York session. So we have this. I want to see price pull back into this zone. Okay, I want to see price pull back into this zone before going bearish on GBP USD. That should play out in London or New York session. I look for my setup between 8-11, which is London session, and between 3 and 5 p.m. Nigerian time. That is when I look out for my setup on the chart. Okay, so what do we have here? Okay, so we can see GBP has been bearish. It's been bearish. Okay, so it's been bearish. So I'd like to see price pull back to this zone. This is where I'll be considering buying, selling. I want to see price pull back, clear the liquidity residing at this previous high. Okay, so I'm considering selling GBP USD tomorrow from this zone. This is where I'll be looking for my sell setup. This zone, this area is where I will be looking for my sell setup. Okay, 10 minutes candle should pull back to this zone for me to sell. Okay, so that's my take on GPS. Tomorrow I'll be looking for sales, and where would I set my TP? My TP, you can see it has created a lot of liquidity void that needs to be filled. All this void needs to be filled. These imbalances needs to be filled. So that is where I would use as TP. All these imbalances, TP will be at those areas, those zones. Okay. This network is what's happening. Sell from this point. Okay, so what I want to see play out on, this is my expectation on G. I want to see price back here. Okay, and down. Okay, so GBUSD could drop to this. Okay, it could also drop to this fair value gap. We have a fair value gap here. Okay, that is my expectation on GBP That's my take on GBP Okay, so it's going to first come clear the liquidity. It's going to come clear the liquidity residing at these lows. Okay, it's going to come clear the liquidity residing at this low, and after clearing that liquidity, I would expect it to come fill this fair value gap on 4 hour. Okay, I would like to see it fill. There's a tiny fair value gap here. I would like to see it fill that fair value gap. Okay, this is where we have the fair value gap. Okay, so I'd like to see it fill that fair value gap before going bullish. Okay, so I hope that is clear. So that's my take on GBP USD for tomorrow's market. I hope to see the setup in London or in New York session. Okay, so let's look at Euro USD, then we'll look at gold, and that'll be all for tonight's session. Since there are no questions, same pattern on Euro USD. We should find similar pattern on Euro USD. Okay, so what happened on Euro USD today? The liquidity residing at this previous high has been cleared. Okay, the liquidity has been cleared, and we go down to 4 hour. Let's start with daily. Let's see what we have on a daily time frame. Okay, so you can see what we have on the daily time frame. Price pulled back to clear the liquidity residing at this high that has been achieved, and let's go down to 4 hour time frame. So this is what we have on the 4 hour time frame. Okay, so let's see 1 hour and 15 minutes. 1 hour. Okay, so this is what we have on 1 hour time frame. So we have a fair value gap. Let's see on 15 minutes time frame. We have a fair value gap. Yes, we have a fair value gap here. I would like to see price come back to fill this fair value gap. Okay, I would like to see it come back to fill this fair value gap. Okay, after filling this fair value gap, we have an area of liquidity here that I think needs to be swept. So I want to see price clear the liquidity residing at this previous high. There are a lot of sell orders or buy stop here, buy orders residing at this high. A lot of buy orders. So this is where I will be considering going bearish on Euro USD. This is where I will be considering going bearish on Euro USD tomorrow. Okay, so that's it for Euro USD. And Euro USD, I expect Euro USD to drop. It's likely going to come to this zone. That is where I see it heading to. This zone. This is where I see Euro USD heading to tomorrow. Okay, so let's look at gold. Network is just too. So let's look at gold. Okay, gold. Let's start with the daily. Okay, today gold was bullish, strongly bullish. Gold was bullish, strongly bullish today. Strongly bullish today. So after the close of today candle, let's see what we have on 4 hour time frame. Cool. So you see what we have on 4 hour time frame. This is mitigation. Price wasn't. This was supposed to be their target. Okay, but they could not clear the liquidity residing at this previous high. So this is a mitigation. Okay, then if you go down to 1 hour, let's see the pattern on 1 hour time frame. Okay, so you can see on 1 hour time frame we have several bearish reversal pattern on 1 hour time frame. We have always like an angry man, a doji, a shooting star indicating change in trend from bullish to bearish. So I think Gold is going to sell. We have this low here, which is an area of liquidity. And below this low, we have a fair value gap. That could be the next draw on liquidity. That could be the next draw on liquidity on gold. That's my expectation on gold. I see gold coming to fill this fair value gap. Okay, before going bullish. The trend, the long-term trend is bullish. But I expect price to retrace to fill this fair value gap before going bullish. So my bias on gold tomorrow is bearish. Bearish. Gold could even come clear the liquidity residing at this previous low. Gold could come clear the liquidity residing at this previous low. Okay, so that's my take on gold, USD, and Euro USD. And since there are no questions, that will be all for tonight's session. I wish you all a wonderful night. Please give the video a thumbs up if you haven't done that. Give it a thumbs up, and if it's your first time participating on the live stream, first I want to appreciate you for joining, and also I would employ that you subscribe to the channel so that anytime I come on live, you get notified by YouTube. Once more, I want to appreciate you for your participation. Do have a wonderful night.